If you're an artist and you're trying to sell your work and you keep hearing, oh, you need to solve a problem for your buyer, what problem do you solve? You're actually asking the wrong question. And I think this one question is keeping more artists stuck than almost anything else I talk about on this account. Here's why that advice confuses artists. Because when you hear solve a problem, you think of stuff like medicine or tools or software, the things that people actually need, things where the value is obvious. Nobody wakes up and thinks, oh, I need a portrait today. Nobody has an emergency that requires a painting. Art is not a necessity. And that's what makes selling it impossible when everyone's telling you to solve problems. But here's what nobody explains. There are two completely different games that you can play, and most artists don't even know that the second one exists. The first game is you go to where problems already exist and you position your art as the solution. You don't have to invent a problem. The problem is already there. Like some guy's anniversary is coming up and he's panicking because he needs something meaningful. Or a pet owner, they just lost their dog and they want to hold on to their memory. I'm sure there's D&D players or furries who had this character in their head for years and they've never seen it come to life. Those are all real problems and there's real emotional gaps in them. And your art fills that, but only if you show up where those people are already searching. They're not typing in commission an artist. They're typing in, unique anniversary gift or custom pet memorial or D&D character portrait. And if your listing or your page speaks to that specific problem, then you're not competing against every artist on the internet. You're competing against candles and gift cards, and custom art is going to be all of that when you position it around what the buyer actually wants. So that's game one. Just go find where problems already exist and point your art at them. Now game two is different, and this is the one that confuses people because it feels like there's no problem at all. Have you ever visited like your rich friend's super nice house and then now you suddenly feel some type of way about your own place? And then 5 minutes ago you were fine, you weren't thinking about your house, you didn't have a problem, but now you've seen something better and there's this gap between what you have and what you saw. And that gap is called desire. And you didn't have it until something created it. Your art can do the same thing. When they see the detail, the craft, the hours of work, and the intention behind the piece, which is actually the most important part, they need to care first. So if they can connect with the narrative behind the piece and see how carefully you're creating it, they didn't need that piece 5 minutes ago, but now they've watched you create it and they feel something. Now they want it. And that gap between them wanting it and not having it, that is a problem that you just created. And buying it from you is how they solve that problem. This is why process videos work when product shots don't. A photo of a finished print does not create desire, but a video telling a story and showing how the print is made, showing the thought behind it, showing the level of skill and care, those types of videos actually build the want. And that want is a problem you just created for the watcher. So you don't need the art to solve a problem the way a vacuum cleaner solves a problem. You need to either find the problem that already exists and position yourself as the answer, or create a desire so strong that not having your art becomes a problem. And this is what e-commerce people understand that artists were never taught. The biggest sales don't come from people who are already looking for what you sell. They come from people who didn't know they wanted it until they saw it. So if you want the full breakdown of how to actually think about selling art using real business fundamentals, I put together a free roadmap. It covers positioning, validation, where to start. It's in the link in my bio and it's completely free because nobody should have to figure this out alone. And so follow me because I'm teaching the business side that nobody teaches artists, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.